I'm trying to get this bike to 100 miles, right? So I could do my review on it. And I'm sitting at like 94, so it's only been 2 miles since I started. And I just had this gray Nissan Altima. I'm in a bike lane. I was in a bike lane. He came up within a foot of me, slammed on his horn, and then cut right in front of me. And then I chased him through this neighborhood, and he cut off, he blew through 2 stop signs, and then cut 2 other drivers off, and then took a right up here on Nacogdoches. So it's like, man, you can be doing everything right out here and still get killed, dude. So just be careful, guys. My name is Billy Busby, and the idea for this video is I want to ride the Hyperscrambler up to 100 miles and then kind of give my 100-mile review on it. And even though I haven't used it for the specific purpose that I bought it for yet, I figured it's probably a good time to at least go over some of my initial thoughts. All right, so just hit 100 miles, right, like literally right now. And I'm gonna find a place to pull off and kind of do my little 100-mile update review. So this is the Juiced Hyperscrambler 2 e-bike, and the big selling point on this guy is that it has extended range with the 2 different batteries. It's got some additional safety features on it. It's got the bigger, nicer front headlight. It's got actually working brake lights, working blinkers on either side. It's got a horn, and it comes with an alarm. It's a very powerful bike. I think it's a class 2/3. You can turn it into a class 3 e-bike. You can pedal it. There's a ton of different modes and things like that on it. Juiced has an excellent overview video on their channel about what this bike is and like the selling points and things like that on it. What I want to do today is just kind of go through some of the pros and cons I've ran across with it so far. So I want to start out with the cons of the Hyperscrambler 2. Number one, it's taller and heavier than you think it's going to be, especially if you have both batteries on it. I forget what the listed weight is on the website right now, but when I got it, I think it was like sitting at 150 plus pounds. That may not be a big deal for you. If you got a garage and you're going to be riding to and from your house, it may not be a big deal to you. You can just roll it right into your garage, park it, you know, take the batteries off and store it. But for me, I'm going to be transporting this thing around and filming events and things like that with it. So I'm going to have to be transporting it, and I live upstairs right now. So my first problem is getting it up and down those stairs, getting it into the back of a truck, getting it to the event, offloading it, things like that, right? It's just a logistical issue. But just understand that this thing is heavy to be doing all of that with. It's taller too than you think it's gonna be, right? So I'm 6'1"-ish, a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on how I slept the night before. And it's tall. It's a tall bike. It's not tall once you're on it, but getting on and off of it, it can be a little bit of a struggle if you're probably not 5'8", 5'9", or even taller. And I guess it might matter what kind of shoes you got on. And then the third thing is, like, although the frame feels solid and like all the components feel solid, it rattles. And there's like all these weird noises. As my buddy who runs an e-bike company, local e-bike company here in San Antonio, he said, man, you've had that thing like 3 days and your front brake is already, you know, scraping and rubbing and squeaking. So and in their instructions, they tell you to, you know, make sure you retighten everything, you know, go through after every rod. And I can't stress that enough. Like, go through after every rod, make sure everything's tight and everything's good to go, because it rattles a lot. And it, you know, I'm sure a lot of it depends on what type of surfaces you're riding on. If you're riding on nice, smooth surfaces in a normal, rational way, it's probably not going to be that big of a deal. But anyway, that's been my experience, especially riding around downtown San Antonio. where you're on cobblestone streets, you're on paved streets, you're on concrete, you're on like everything. You know, I noticed a lot of rattling around down there, and a couple of cables came loose for the horn. Alright, so let me go over a couple of things I absolutely love about this bike. Number one, with the 2 batteries, I have yet to experience any sort of even issues with range. And granted, these batteries are new, they're not like worn out or anything like that, so I don't know how they're going to hold up over time, but for right now, yeah, especially if they're fully charged, man, I just get on it and go. Like, I'd never stress like, okay, I need to start heading back now. Like, not even close. And then number 2 is like, so far, man, it's the experience of this bike. It's so much fun. Throttle only or pedal assist. I love having both of those. It just frees everything up. And I mean, the safety features on this are great. And it saved me a couple of times, man. Like, when most people are driving sane out here, you know, they see the bike, they see the lights and everything, and they give me the right of way or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, they let me over and things like that. So I love that. I love that it comes with the alarm. That's really cool. If you got to run in somewhere real quick, you can pop that. And you know, especially if it's like a gas station or somewhere where you can get back to your bike real quick. This thing is so heavy. I mean, they're probably not going to snatch it real quick without that alarm just absolutely blaring. So far, man, I dig the bike. And I'm sure as I lose weight or you're a lighter rider or whatever, man, you're going to experience things even better than what I'm experiencing. You know, it may not rattle as much, it may ride smoother, because right now it rides really smooth. It's a nice ride, it accelerates well, and I'm close to 300 pounds, which I'm sure is probably over their recommended limit. And I still have no problems with acceleration. I've had no problems with stopping. I don't like the squeaking front brake. I'm gonna have to have one of my local, you know, e-bike mechanic buddies take a look at that. But so far, I really like the bike. There's a few things that are issues with the bike that I'm sure they're gonna just perfect in the future, man. I'm really excited for what this line does going forward, because right now I feel like it's an electric moped that you can pedal, and that's the best way I know to describe it. And it feels like that, it weighs like that, it looks kind of like that. It doesn't quite look like the other scramblers and things, but anyway, I'm excited for it. Follow along on the channel. I'll put some more e-bike content out, and we'll do some reviews. I'm not going to do one every 100 miles, but I'll definitely do some reviews in the future on how it's holding up. So anyway, that's it. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button. It really helps me out. It helps that algorithm out so other people can see what's going on down here with my channel and the whole cycling scene here in San Antonio. Take care, guys. Peace. I think I saw the guy that almost ran me off the road and being a little aggressive through the neighborhoods, but when he saw me, he was behind a store up here off of Nacogdoches, and anyway, I was looking for a place to stop and film, and when he saw me, he jumped in his car and took off again. So I think that might have been him, but I'm not sure. But you know, whatever, man. I'm glad I didn't get hurt. I'm glad he didn't get hurt, and we can all live to see tomorrow, hopefully.